Oh, absolutely. And he, so, yeah. So, and what's really crazy is this thing. So that at the first start of the day, you do all your stuff. You start one engine, do some checks. Start the other engine, do some checks. Do all that stuff. Subsequent starts of the day, battery on, primes one and two on, ACOL on, one to idle, two to idle, one to flight, two to flight, and just sit and wait. And in about 40 seconds, you're ready to pull pitch. And it won't the second engine won't actually attempt the start until the first engine is at idle. Yeah. And you can't vent both engines on this. So engine 1 vent physically disconnects engine two's vent switch, and engine two's vent switch interrupts and physically disconnects engine one's vent. So if you hold down one of the vent switches and then push the other one, it nothing will happen on that second one. Because on the C2, if you vented both engines, it would blow your 350 amp fuse in the back of the aircraft. It lets you do it, and it'd blow that fuse, and then the electrical system would go absolutely haywire. Yep. Oh, I knew exactly when the pilots come in and they'd say, um, we were out there and we vented the engines, and then all of a sudden we heard this like clack 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 clack, clack, and I was like, that was the relays opening and closing because you blew the fuse because you vented both engines at the same time. And one of the pilots would be like, no, we did, and the other pilot would just look at him and be like, he knows. Like, okay, I know exactly what you did. Yeah. And it was really funny because usually the way it went was one pilot would say, "Hey, can I? What do you think will happen if I vent both engines at the same time?" And, oh, I'm sure nothing good. I don't think you should do that. Oh, I don't. I think you can. I think it's okay. Like, okay, go ahead. Let's see what. I'll bet you can't. I'll bet you can. Pow! Oh crap. Yep. Yep. And if you want this to not be told with names, because this story is getting told either way, but if you want names to be left out of it, that's going to take beer. All right, so I am up and running. Let's see. Looks like X is still at idle. Yep. Advancing to flight. All right, so speed for the route will be 90 to 100 knots, I think is what I ran last time, and it worked out pretty well. All right, coming up. So it's pretty cool. I've got this. Well, I got the upgraded livery or upgraded environment for Asheville Airport, and they've actually done a pretty good job with it here. There's a helipad directly behind me. That was always our spot. That's where we hung out at, or that's where we always landed anyway. And then the FBO was this one right down here. So I spent a lot of time here at the Asheville Airport. Yeah. Yeah, there was actually this hangar back into my left. All right, I think we're ready to go. All right, so I'm just take off from here. So that hangar right there, I went in there one day to borrow, I don't even remember what. I needed a ladder or some safety wire or something. And I walked in there and there were some guys standing around a toolbox, and I said, hey, you guys got some safety wire I can borrow? And they said, yeah, it's in the other toolbox. We're waiting for that to show up. I said, okay. They said it should be here in the next 15 minutes. You're welcome to hang out, and as soon as it gets here, we'll let you borrow it. I said, okay. So we got to chatting, and they asked what I was doing out there, and I told them, the missions that we were flying and what we were doing. And he said, yeah, this is our first time here. We actually got sent out here because the aircraft that we maintain, it was like a citation or something. I don't remember what. He said, but as it was coming over the mountains last night, it lost an engine. And he said, we're waiting. Right now, we're just waiting for the weather to clear to go out and look for it. And I said, look for what? And he said, the engine. I said, oh, you mean it physically lost an engine? And he said, yeah, man. I thought you meant it just quit working. And he said, well, I'm sure it did when it detached from the side of the aircraft. But no, he said they were coming over the mountain and the damn thing just sheared off the side of the jet. I said, dang. Yeah. Oh, cool. And I'm also recording this using the experimental flight recorder in Microsoft. So when I go back in and review it, hopefully it will show that and as well as the other aircraft. So I'm going to see if maybe I can use that to make a cool little video. No, I didn't know you had to turn that on specifically. Well, why I screwed that one up. Yeah. So how do you have it to where I can see the towers for the wires, but I don't see actual wires? Okay, yep, I did that as well. Yep. I must not have it loaded properly then. Yep. So I'll have to double check that and see. I made a video the other day of this run, uh, and put a counter of how many times the low level warning went off. I think I got it like 56 times there and back. Oh, don't hit those trees. Yep. You want to die, that's on you. Alright, I think this straightaway right here is our release. So I'm going to start picking up some speed. Do a big old cyclic climb up out of here. Oh, nope, it was not our release because that's the Biltmore right up there. I usually continue on around and then approach it from the other way so that I can overfly it. But there's the Biltmore. It was built between 1889 and 1895. It is still to this day the largest private residence in the United States at 178,926 square feet. It was built by George Vanderbilt. Yeah, if you buy fuel at the airport there, the Asheville airport, I think you can get tickets to the Biltmore for like $65. And that, I tell you, it's almost a 2-day excursion to be able to see the whole thing. It is massive. And then, of course, the grounds outside of it are just as impressive. come down and come to a hover off the back balcony. Oh, I glitched. I was having a hard time loading that thing. I've got the Wikipedia pulled up right here, so let me take a look. Vanderbilt bought 700 parcels of land, including 50 farms and 5 cemeteries. There we go. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to find. Something that tells what park and landscape. Yeah. And if you disagree with me, I'll shoot you. All right, so Vanderbilt envisioned a park-like setting for his home and employed landscape architect Frederick Law Olmsted to design the grounds. Olmsted was not impressed with the condition of the 125,000 acres and advised having a park surrounding the house, establishing farms along the river, and replanting the rest as a commercial timber forest. Yep. 75 acres of formal gardens. Yeah, I think I saw that on here too. 195 square miles. So today, the estate takes up 8,000 acres. So I guess they've sold off quite a bit of that land. Split in half by the French Broad, the river that we just came up over. And so, and right around here somewhere, there's a little, like a pond, and there's a little stone bridge crossing over the pond. There it is, right over there. All right, I'll fly to it. I see it on the little map. So let me see if I can find this thing. Should be right over here. Holy cow. Dang. Yeah, no kidding. Alright, so according to the map, I just passed over that little bridge, but I did not see it. So there's a road that comes in and a little stone bridge that crosses over the pond. Yeah. Yep. Yep, that's going to be it right there. That was the bridge. There's a scene in The Last of the Mohicans where they're running from somebody and they cross over a stone bridge, and that's the bridge where they filmed it at. Yeah. Yeah, right there. And then some of the other movies that were filmed here were The Swan back in '56, Being There in '79, Private Eyes in 1980, Mr. Destiny in 1990, Last of the Mohicans in '92, Forrest Gump in '94. I didn't realize that Forrest Gump was. I wonder what part of it. That's interesting. I tell you, my poor computer right now is mad at me. It's not going to show it. I wish that it would show it on yours. Like, that would make the most sense, is that you have a bucket and you filled it, and I should be able to see that bucket when I'm watching you, and then watch the water come out of that bucket. So I think I might need to turn my trees back down. I turned them up, and I think maybe that's why it's having so much trouble right now. And I need to upgrade my GPU. It needs to happen. Be the perfect time to do it. The wife's on vacation. She'd be none the wiser. Oh crap, I'm still live on YouTube. Oh wow, okay. No, 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 I just glitched like crazy. And when it came back, I was damn near vertical and descending tail first. Oh, I'm going to close down some of these other windows. See if maybe that helps. Alright, I guess, oh man, I closed my map so I can't see if you guys are still. I'm going to come around and dive back into the river and do the river run back to Asheville. And then I probably better let this computer take a break for a little while. I'll do a nice slow turn descending in. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make this run as bad as my computer's glitching. I have to fly it a little bit slower than normal. I think maybe once I get the Vanderbilt out of my radius, it might do a little bit better. Okay. I'm definitely gonna have to try that. Yeah. What key is it? Okay. Because I would love to kick those off right about now, because I am flying a slideshow. I'm trying to do an NOE route, and I'm updating about every 10 feet. Oh, if I don't end up in the water, it'll be a miracle. This is so hard to do. By the time I realize I'm descending, I've already lost, 10, 15 feet. Yeah, I'm going to have to reload that We Love VFR and make sure that everything's in there right. Yep, I only did the U.S. is the only one that I did. What, region 2, I think? Boy, I thought for sure this thing would clean up. Look, X coming in. Yeah, that's what I just noticed too. Yeah. I don't know how I have not hit something yet. Yep, I'm not far behind you. Yeah, probably. Be, yeah, it'll be closer to lunch. Alrighty. Yep, good times. Can you make it under that? Oh, how about it? For a second anyway. Did you live through that? Yeah, you were out of my field of view before it really turned. But I could tell that it was getting ready to happen. I feel like when you're glitching, that the collision detection is very forgiving. Oh, I'm getting ready to fly over top of you. Yep, I'm right behind you. I'm gonna go take my little helipad over there. goodness. It was like 15 frames per second. That was exhausting. I'm sweating.